morning. Afternoon, it's 1:01 p.m. Good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh, yeah. Oh, please like and subscribe. Yeah. That good. Yeah. Ha ha ha.
All right, it is minus 3.5 Celsius. We are on Highway 3 westbound. Dyslexic, I had to think about that. Coming into Midway. It is the midway between Greenwood and Rock Creek. Got a load that's going to Wenatchee on Monday. And apparently like 5 a.m. they would like it there. I don't like getting up that early. 7 o'clock is just fine for me. I like 7 a.m. That's the hours I like to run. 7 to 9 in the US, 7 to 11 in Canada. That's the hours I like to run. Actually, truth be told, I would like to run 7 to 9 every day, Canada or US. Most of the time I run extra 2 hours in Canada because I can, as long as I'm not tired. This week with all the snowstorms, I took the full 10 hours off in Canada as well, instead of just 8 hours off. There we go, coming into Midway. Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, last Friday I shot a video leaving Castlegar going up the Paulson. I think it was 3 weeks ago I did it. And today I almost did it. I'm like, it seems Friday I drive this road a lot because I'm leaving Klesnikov going home.
I'll catch you later.
Catching CB radio?
There you go. That was symptom number 1.
Catching CB, somebody in the US, I think. I mean, somebody in Canada could be using the CB, but very unlikely. Ha! So, I'm like, what section of highway have I not recorded? And I have recorded this section, but not for a while, so let's climb the Anarchist westbound. Climb the Anarchist eastbound I shoot that video quite often, so we'll do it westbound, going through Midway, Rock Creek, Bridesville.
Speed now, looks like you gotta take it up to speed.
Yeah, I think
I'll review it for you.
I'm catching it in there.
Don't be so miserable. Everybody's sick and tired of the drama and the window lickers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Everybody's sick of it. Get out of here.
Okay, this guy's funny.
Listen, now, safety first while you're out there on those highways and byways. Remember, be nice to everybody. And don't be a psychological issues.
Yeah, window licker, psychological issues. I hope I don't bite, or I hope it doesn't bite me leaving it on. Most likely It's an American trucker. Rare that the CB fires up in Canada. Very rare. At least not in BC.
Yeah, don't drink the water. Definitely don't get it out.
Vaughan Brothers, Canadian site. Vaughan Fiber Canada. If you guys have been with me for a while, you've seen me do a bunch of loads from here to Colville, Washington. Scale is closed. Talking about Mexico now. Talking about 45 miles, so definitely American. Oh yeah, I remember some of the comments about
You're probably already realizing now that you don't have any range. Is range the key? Never mind. Skip this at the angle of the eagle.
I'll wait a little bit till.
The application position is that potential is critical, but the most important here is your range. Safety first. And go up there and be nice to each other. Mud duck right in the desert. We gotta go. Pretty simple once you understand, Ohm's law. There's two different ones, and many people don't even know that. When it comes to AC, and watts, what a watt actually is, they got a video explaining that in detail. So, a watt, when you do that, when you have a pure wave, a perfect cycle.
I don't think this guy's trucking. I think he's broadcasting out of a home base. Because he doesn't seem like he's close. So I bet he's a retired trucker.
Watts. That's PEP watts only, and when they're perfect, but I'm looking at what you're hearing right now.
And the clouds must be right that the CB signal is bouncing off the clouds just right.
That's why I always use PEP, but it's got to be a perfect waveform, otherwise it's worthless. Anything you see in the meters, 100 peak, etc. So once you can produce a pure waveform, the AC volt squared by the load is on peak. The peak envelope power, the peak is half of that. So you divide AC volt squared by the load, divide that by 2 per peak times angular degrees of 0.707. That's what an arm is.
He's definitely talking about radio lingo.
Your arm, that's what. 0.973 degrees centigrade.
As in, talking about what kind of wavelength best to set up your CB radio and all that.
Receiving radio, CB, that is, cannot be ciphered or determined that is according to the equal watts, or equal PP divided by 2 per peak times angular. That's what people call bird watts. Only when you can produce the perfect sinusoidal waveform is times angular degrees.
Washing the windshield. The wipers are frozen in a way that it's not clearing. Washer fluid off properly. Oh well. No big deal. It's not terrible. Anyway, in the comments, we've talked about a theory that I did some testing on yesterday. So the question brought up was power divider and diff locks on, coming down a hill with engine brakes on an icy road. Is it better to have everything locked up or not? And my theory was it would be better to have all 4 drives, all 4 duals, locked up with engine brakes because you wouldn't slide sideways as easily. It would hold you straighter. Well, I had the chance to go into the Sudcos Alamo yard several times yesterday because I was preloading other truck drivers' trailer. Dropped my trailer and went and loaded another truck driver's trailer because they were running a little behind in the snow and I was running far enough behind that Lewiston load wasn't working for me, so I had a little spare time. So the boss asked really nicely, "Do you think you could do some preloads for me since you have a little bit of spare time?" I'm like, "Absolutely. I'm going to be sitting here either playing on a laptop computer games or I could be out here making money." I'm like, "I'll do the video gaming at home on the weekend on a live stream. Let's go make money." But coming into the yard, I know it's really slippery around that corner, and accidentally I've left the engine brakes on and it's caught me, and it gets kind of scary. It's really slow, a slower corner, and it's a safe place to do a test. So I did that. Came around the corner with everything locked up, and it scared the snot out of me. Did the same corner with nothing locked up and engine brakes on. It still slid sideways, but not nearly as bad. So I'm wrong. Having everything locked up will not keep you straighter on the road. Makes sense now that I think of it. Only having one of the 4 duals lock up means all the rest are not hitting the brakes, locking up, sliding sideways. They still have forward momentum. So yeah, coming down the hill with engine brakes on slippery day, I'm going to make sure everything is unlocked, including the diff lock or the power divider. So yeah, theory debunked. Yeah, I thought for sure that having everything locked up would keep me straighter, but no, definitely did not. Definitely did not. They've got their pajamas hanging outside on a line at -4. How's that going to dry the clothes? It's a weird one to me. See if I climb the hill here, we'll see if the CB radio will come back clear or not. It's sort of there.
Misinformation out there, you know, they want to adjust it for -73 dBm. That's not what it is. It's inaccurate. So every time you look at your meter, it's grossly exaggerated because they didn't know what they were doing. Maybe they just want to make it look like their work word is better or something like that by making the meter jump all over. That's kind of like meter readers do. More questions? This is gonna be fun. Alright, I gotta get my headset done so I can do it.
Trying to tune it out, tune the CD. Pick it up as clear as possible, but too many knobs.
Go to work for that company a long time ago. The broadcast engineering, I like this one.
seems like it's safe to listen to whatever they're talking about. I can't. It seems most of everything that's being said is they're talking about the best way to set up your CB radio.
Out there, stupid stuff. That's those guys from the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Usually come straight out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, those Striker Radio Club. SRC stands for Spirebox Radio Club. That's where it comes from. Whenever you hear all that music out there, it's like it. So it's good when you trust you. And there's some good people around Scranton, Pennsylvania. You got some customers that just content playing music. Roger people comes right out of Scranton, Pennsylvania from the home. It's the home of the Golden Screwdriver Jackie Hall of Shame. Gotta go.
Sounds like a retired hobbyist. Hobby for him to just hang out on the CB radio and talk to people.
North Carolina, you're tripping all the way to the desert. Take care.
And he's talking to people in North Carolina. He's definitely got a huge CB antenna on top of his house.
Every time you get those window lookers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame earlier, you can call people names, using profanity, playing music on the radio. It's always something.
So the videos that I've been climbing the Anarchist from out of Osoyoos and ending the videos at that brake check, this is that brake check. We're going the opposite way now from those videos. I was worried going over the Pulse and it was snowing so hard up there how Anarchist would be here, but roads are good here. Should be no problem. Yeah, on Pulse and two guys I saw were chaining up. None of the chain up lights were on, but there were two guys that pulled over and chained up. They looked like they were fully loaded Super Bs, and they probably know their truck well enough. They go, you know what? It's probably better to chain up. So, kind of figure that those chain up lights are kind of useless. Truck drivers pull over and chain up before those lights turn on if they know, yep, that's too sketchy for me. When those chain up lights come on, the people that are too dumb to know that they should be chaining up ignore the chain up lights anyway and drive up and spin out, so they don't really make a difference. You get exactly the same people chaining up with those lights on or off. There are a bunch of us that chain up when those lights are on, but we don't need to. It's like, I know my truck, I know this road, I know I don't have to chain up, but those lights are on, so I'm going to pull over and chain up because the law says I have to. Like Anarchist here, I've chained up for Anarchist a couple of times. Chained up, 2 weekends ago I was chained up. Of course, I got stuck in the driveway and they just kept the chains on. Well, thinking about it, I might be one of those idiots that drives until you spin out, so I don't know. I do know I've chained up when the lights were not on, and I have chained up when I didn't need to chain up because the lights were on. And here, definitely not chaining up. Don't even have any of the lockers on yet. Will I turn them on? I don't know, we'll see. I have my doubts. -4. The roads are wet though. -4, and they've got that beet juice spread out on the road. So the roads are wet. Farm fresh eggs. Yeah, this is actually fairly easy. Obviously the passing center lane is snow covered. Doesn't get enough traffic and not enough heat in the road. It's slushy-ish, but not clear. Farmer trailer with lights that all work on the trailer. Nice to see someone taking care of their stuff. talking to one of the Jamaican drivers. It's his very first winter in Canada. So he asked me today, he goes, winter's almost over, right? I'm like, probably another 2 weeks of this before we start coming out of winter. But also, March can have a couple of snowstorms still. So don't think we're out of the clear until we're really through March. But he seems to be handling winter pretty good. He goes, this isn't too bad. He thought it would be much worse. But I think that's scared of the unknown, right? Now that he's been running Highway 3 back and forth between Vancouver and Castlegar, kind of get used to the highway. He already learned the highway in the summer. Just had to learn how to drive on snow, and he's doing pretty good. Better than I've done my first winter. My first winter, I rolled the truck. Yeah, definitely rolled the truck. But the tow truck company had 3 tow trucks on me and tipped my truck back on its wheels. I did a U-turn, drove back to the mill. They took all the lumber lifts off, straightened them out again. I brought the truck and trailer empty to the shop. They inspected it and decided they needed to replace the jaws to one of the fifth wheel. They were stretched a little bit. And then I went and reloaded exactly the same load and then went and delivered it. That truck and trailer was on the highway. I think it's still on the highway. So how many people can say they rolled a vehicle and rolled a big rig and trailer and then kept driving it with very little damage? The side of the cab had some minor dents on it, but nothing mechanical. A couple of airlines popped when the tow trucks were rolling me back on my wheels. And the tow truck company fixed that on the road before I got rolling. My second winter, I ended up in the ditch, but no damage. I just went and parked in a ditch, nice flat open ditch. Meanwhile, 2 other big rigs completely crashed on the same corner. One of those black ice corners that surprised us. In the last couple of winters, I've stayed out of the ditch. So, experience does make a difference. Not being scared of the snow probably didn't help. Those trees are kind of beautiful. They got a dusting of snow on them. Or maybe that's hoarfrost from fog earlier. Just love the look of the trees. Kind of magical. Almost to the summit. this climb right here. The boss man, or not like my boss, but the maintenance manager of the fleet wants this trailer in the shop for a grease job, so I called the shop in Picton, and they want it tomorrow morning. So what I'll do is I'll go home, the evening I'll go and drive the truck to the shop, and then I give them my phone number, and I just told them, call me tomorrow morning when the truck's done, and I'll come and pick it up and get it out of your hairs, because I know they're limited space for room at that shop, so I'm sure they'd appreciate the truck and trailer be gone. Here we go. And normally you see mountains in the background, but all we see is fog and clouds. Hasn't been a bad winter. We haven't had much break from snow. It's always snow, snow, snow. But so it's been a lot of snow this winter. Not necessarily a lot of accumulation, just this light snow that keeps hitting the road. We never have a nice break of a week or two of no snow. Definitely an interesting winter. So I think we could use more accumulation for fire season. Hopefully we get a lot more moisture. Okay, don't want to downshift yet. Okay. Give it a minute. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't need to slow down here yet, but I know there's a 70-kilometer corner coming, so slowly work our way down. That way I don't need to be hard on the brakes before we go down a steep hill. Save the brakes for when I need them. Brake check is about 10 kilometers away. Stop there and I'll do the brake check, clean all the lights off from all the snow. Although there might not be that much snow on them. No, there probably is, because all the way down Halton, before I hit record, we've been driving on snow, so there might be a bit of snow back there. Clean that off. I'm good to go home. Excuse me. Is that fog ahead of us, or is that snow? -4. If it's fog, it's going to be ice fog. Oh, there was a statue there, Raven, I think, or something like that. That's where they start, the statues. And quite a bit of the road here has got all these statues, different animal statues. Could have been a crow, some kind of bird. Could have been an eagle too. Can't remember. Caught me off guard. I always never remember where those statues start. If you want to know what the names of the statues are, just zoom into the roads on Google Maps, and each road is named after the animal, and the statue matches that road name. Got Caribou Crescent coming up on the left, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Wapiti? It's a type of elk, I think. Got a statue on both sides. It's still decorated in Christmas decorations. It's really ice fog, isn't it? Don't want it to be ice fog. Next road coming up is Sasquatch Trail, so you guys all saw that one a couple of weeks ago. It's on our right hand side here, blending right into the trees here, kind of hard to see. Black trees, black statues, hard to see. Oh, there was an eagle there. So much snow on the eagle, it was hard to see the thing, so. Brake check time. Also a rest area on the left hand side. It's going to be ice fog, so I'm going to add heat to the windshield. So hopefully the dash cam doesn't overheat, but if it does, we'll just finish with the shoulder cam. lights needed cleaning off, all right. It's like 4 inches of snow. Yeah, 4 inches of snow. Yeah. Packed onto the back of the lights. Nobody had a chance of seeing what I was signaling. All the four-way flashers and signaling didn't help anybody anything behind me. That's why you don't cheat on brake checks and actually get out and look at everything. Engine brakes on. There we go. Like, why is the truck not slowing down? So we got a switchback coming up, and the truck needs to slow down. Got engine brake on full and the engine fan on. Don't want to speed up too much here. There's another switchback coming. Car is so close behind me, I just dropped a big bomb of snow off the trailer, and the car was trying to avoid it at the last minute. We're a little bit further behind now. Luckily, the bombs that fall off, it's not really ice bomb, it's just snow. It's actually very soft snow. When I was cleaning the lights off, it's all just very soft, powdery snow. So at least if big bombs fall off, they're not going to do any damage to the vehicles behind us. If the snow would keep hanging on the trailer for a couple of days, it would turn hard, and then it would be dangerous. But we'll be in the Okanagan, it's going to all melt off on the weekend, and we'll be good. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, at the end of the shift, I'm like, yeah, it's still cold outside. We're parked in Edmonton. Let's go knock as much of that snow off the trailer as possible, so that we don't have these big bombs falling off on the highway. Make it safe for the other people. Same reason, at the end of the day, I go and clean all the lights off and the reflectors, because trying to do it in the morning, everything is frozen solid. It's so much harder to do it in the morning. It's better to do it at the end of the day when you're tired and don't feel like it. Same with shoveling the deck. In the morning when you wake up and there's a snowfall, you have to go shovel the deck. You could go, that looks like it's pretty soft powder, let's just drive and it'll blow off. Yeah, most of it will blow off, but some of it will form a thin layer of ice on the deck. And now you have the slipperiest deck in the world. And that one I've experienced is just worth it, pulling out the shovel and shoveling your driveway. Shovel the driveway. It's always worth it. Doing it now when it's still soft snow versus when you've made it into solid ice. The RPM's high here. I could upshift, but I know there's a steep hill coming here. And this is the hairpin switchback, 20 kilometers per hour. So keep it at a higher RPM. We get slowed down quicker here. Osoyoos, Canada's warmest welcome. Registered trademark. Osoyoos Lake down there. That is the US there we're seeing on the left. And everything from here that way, north is, or to the right is Canada. This corner, I don't even look at the road in front of me, I'm watching the mirror. Basically steering the trailer, making sure it makes it around the corner. I could do the front, keep the front against the barrier, but I always find that watching the trailer, I run further away from the barrier and there's more grip there and it's safer, so I like driving via trailer around that corner. Just a personal preference. Because I've done the corner often enough that I know if I keep the trailer near the edge there, there'll be lots of room for the front, so I'm not going to hit anything. Another hairpin. Ooh. Thank you, car, for not being dumb, but that's always a concern.
Oh yeah.
The guy going up was in the center lane partway, and me coming down was in the center lane partway. They need to repaint those lines there and not have a passing lane around that corner. So if there's big rigs going either direction, you could not pass there.
Yeah, a good one.
Gonna pass me here, car? Is your only chance for a little bit? No, not gonna pass me. And that's our last switchback here. This one's deceiving. It always feels like you can go around this corner faster because you can see all the way around. The sign says suggested speed 50. 50 is hold on tight. This corner is fast. I do 40. This corner is really a 40-kilometer corner. Every single time I'm like, nope, ignore the 50 sign. It's 40. Here we go. That's it for the tight corners. Now we just head all the way down. There we get the full Allison Pass. Allison. And we're not in Manning Park. Full Anarchist Pass. Climbing all the way out of Rock Creek to Osoyoos. We'll make the video a little longer and drive all the way through Osoyoos. It's Friday, you guys deserve that. A little bit too high of a gear. That's easy enough to downshift. I've got US load, so I'm not super heavy. Past me here, doing full speed limit now. With a US load, I feel very comfortable doing full speed limit down this. Canadian load, usually about 10 kilometers below speed limit. Super B, depending on what kind of load I have on it, but you might want to go a little slower. First time coming down the hill, you probably want to do 50. We didn't really have to worry about the ice fog either, did we? That's nice. Are we catching up with the car? Are we really catching up with the car going downhill? Okay. They're just coming down safe. It's okay. They're just coming down safe. Driving within their means. Ride the brake the whole way. That would be nice if they didn't do that. It's going to be rough on the brakes. Well, I'm going to need brakes too because I'm catching up too quick. Just little brake. Let's get one more gear in. What is that? Is that like a Chrysler? Can't tell. Engine fan off. Pretty much at the bottom. Barely touched the brakes just at the end here because of the car. Oh, and the 20-kilometer corner. It's always lots of work doing that. Gotta pay attention. Coming down this hill is the only time, I only did it once, I smoked the brakes on the trailer. All the brakes on the trailer were just smoking away. It looked like the trailers were on fire. And then I pulled out into the pullout over here. Scrap King is towing a truck up. Scrap King is based out of Salmo. Pulled into here, all the brakes were smoking. and sat there for a bit and let all the brakes cool off. I didn't set the parking brakes on the trailer. Just let those brakes be released and cool off, and then trailer stank like brakes for a couple of days, weeks. And I learned my lesson. Luckily, the easy way. Trying to washer fluid again down here. I would really appreciate signaling a little earlier than that. Really, really appreciate it. I mean, you exited pretty quick. It wasn't too bad, but it could have been bad for you. An 18-wheeler takes about twice as long for 18-wheeler to stop than a car. I'm running a Tridem, so even longer. And Super Bs take like 4 times longer to stop than a car. So, brake checking a big rig sounds like a fun thing to do when you're road raging. Also, you're worried about a big rig on your bumper and you're gonna quickly exit the road and signal at the last minute. Don't. Signal way early, start slowing down early, tap your brakes, let the guy in the truck on your bumper know, hey, I'm gonna be slowing down here and turning off. And I'll get right off the throttle and give you lots of room. And a lot of people do that, and it's super appreciated. So thank you if you do that. It's always a beautiful town. I think this should be 30 kilometers over here because of the way they park at an angle. I think they should change the angle the opposite direction and everybody needs to back into the parking spot. But I know that wouldn't work. People wouldn't do it. Make it safer though. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Really appreciate you guys. Join us on the live streams on the weekend or even during the week. Jess is doing live streams on our other channel. There should be a link down below to J&J Gaming or something like that. Just changed our name. Justin Juan Gaming, J&J. There's a link down below. I'm clear. Nope, that guy just changed lanes into this lane. It's not clear. And yeah, Jess does live streams during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, around 3:30, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. And on the weekend I do live streams 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll see you guys there. Ask me anything. Everybody's welcome there. work hard not to discriminate against anyone. We want an open community. We sometimes don't all agree, but we want it to be an open community. So, thanks again, guys. Really, really appreciate it. You guys rock.
This video is brought to you in part by the letter C and these YouTube members. Cookie starts with C. What other things start with C? Oh, who cares what other things? C is for cookie, and that's good enough for me. Thanks for watching. Dum, 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 dum.